This is Josh Wellborn. I am webcasting from my basement, quarantined during COVID-19. And I thought one of the most valuable things that we could do from the National Youth Department, all of us working from home, is to interview youth pastors and youth leaders that are able to find ways to cultivate community, to make disciples, and to continue ministry during this time when obviously we can't get together. And we've been seeing a lot of cool things, a lot of youth pastors posting content of preaching, of devotions, of virtual gatherings that they're conducting. And one of them that I thought was pretty cool was Gary and Eliot. So Gary Garcia and Eliot Bland from the Southern California Ministry Network are here. Hey guys.
What's up? What's up?
I'm so thankful that you're able to join me today. You guys did something that I think I've only seen from the Southern California Network. And so explain to us what your call to action was. And maybe we should say, Gary, you serve as a regional director for the Southern California Network, which for a lot of the districts, we would say that's like an assistant DYD type role. So tell us kind of how SoCal responded when they heard the news that we couldn't do public gatherings.
Well, for Eliot and I, we have both of us are still youth pastors, so we still youth pastor students, but we kind of have been the face of SoCal Youth Ministry, and the idea that we've hosted youth convention, we host our camps, and so we've really built some great relationships with youth pastors and students. And so when we knew that so many youth groups were going to be offline, we thought, okay, how do we do this? How do we work with these youth groups that aren't meeting or even don't have the capability to do an online service? So we had this idea that let's do one big youth service together on an off night that other youth groups aren't doing things. And so we did it. We launched it Tuesday night. We did a youth service for SoCal Youth. It's kind of been nicknamed Quarantine Youth. And so we're kind of running with that, but it was great. We had a bunch of students log in. I think we had the highest number we had at one time was a little over 300, but throughout the 45-minute service, we had over 600 students log in and join in. And at the end of it, we launched a devotional through the YouVersion Bible app, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Quarantine Youth is also definitely a youth group's name from like 2008 for sure. That's definitely like something that already existed.
You're saying it sounds like that, or you actually found a Quarantine Youth from?
It's like impact, whatever.
Right. We'll think of all of our old youth names. So we had Rock Solid, and
Quarantine just goes with that. C28. Yeah. There's like a sort of vibe.
It does. COVID-19. I mean, that sounds like a name from the early 2000s.
Pretty good,
like what scripture verse is that? Yeah. Well, and so tell us how the format of the service was, because I've seen everything from guys just preaching. I saw one service that was posted on YouTube, which had a series of pre-produced videos, and then the teaching was the only live segment, and it represented about 8 or 9 minutes, but the whole thing was probably 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah. So for us, each of us are doing stuff with our individual churches as well. And what's cool is like, youth ministry is different. And so we're not doing exactly what we've done as our churches are doing. We're really using Instagram. That's the main source of media that works really well across the board for students. They're engaged in it, and Instagram Live is what we chose to go with. Now that created a sense of like, how are we going to do this? And to be honest, Gary and I were kind of flying by the seat of our pants. Just we knew we needed to do something, like he said, for the youth pastors to be able to point their students to something if they didn't have time to figure something out on their own, and just to encourage the students. Like Gary said, we've got an opportunity to sort of be the face of this for the students through conventions, camps, and even there's so many youth groups in SoCal that we've had the opportunity to travel to and like get to see these kids. And so there's a sense of comfort from hearing from us. And so we opened the service on Instagram Live with just us waiting for kids to get on and just doing, the stuff that a lot of us youth pastors know how to do naturally, which is just fill time and be stupid. We did some like COVID-19 appropriate greetings, right? Like showing what not to do, and then showing how to greet. We put on like gloves and masks and just try to lighten the mood with everybody at their homes. And then we welcomed them to youth group, and Instagram Live allows kids to comment the whole time. So and it shows you who's joining, and so we're saying, like, oh, Game Master 35 he's on with us, or just saying what's up to the kids as they're on and as they're commenting. And then we're really trying to use as many youth pastors as we can in this, especially since it's SoCal students as a whole. So any people who are able and willing to come and meet where we're doing the live, we want to use them. So we had a few youth pastors come on, a couple, and do a game for us. And it worked way better than I ever thought it would, because you're doing a game with no kids there. But the game we did was an at-home quarantine scavenger hunt. And so the guys were like, we want you to DM SoCal students, our Instagram, a picture of your dog, or at one point they had them video them cracking an egg on their head. And so it's the first person to DM the picture, DM the video, they won. And we sent them, they sent us their email, and we sent them a $15 Amazon gift card. Like
that was the cool part, is we got to send the prizes out right there. So as soon as they did it, because we had our Amazon Prime set up, we were able to get it, and they received it instantly through their email, a 15 gift card to Amazon. So we had prizes, we had giveaways.
Yeah. And so then after the game, we had a student from Gary's youth group, and next week I think we'll use one maybe from mine or one of the other youth ministries in the area. We had a student just share their testimony, just a quick sort of 3-minute, this is what God did in my life testimony. And it was cool because it's student representation on there as well. And then me and Gary just had a really brief encouragement about hope. We took, I would say, about 5 minutes or so each. And that's the thing. We don't have a lot of their attention span already, we know, is limited, but especially in this format, everything we do has got to be concise and kind of continue to keep their attention. But the encouragement we did, it was funny because all the comments, they're very dumb and, saying whatever. And I noticed as we started to encourage, they didn't disappear, the dumb comments, but they did, they went down quite a lot. And people are responding like, amen, come on, whatever. They're engaging in the encouragement that me and Gary were able to give. Next Tuesday, we're going to have a different youth pastor give the encouragement. And then we had another youth pastor come on and promote the devotional that we're doing this week as a group. And we might even do another devotional. Like the kids have so much time on their hand. They're quarantined. So we want to engage them as much as we can. And then the coolest thing at the end was we were able to, Instagram Live allows you to go live with other people who are watching. And so we went on and we went live with a few students. And they're able, with the 300 people who are watching, they're at home and they're like, oh my gosh, what's up? Hey. And then for one of them, we gave away free camp. So we said, the next person we go live with, we're going to give away a free spot to summer camp, which that had so many layers to it. I think there was the level of excitement, that produced. And then even just the normalcy. I mean, we're speaking in faith that we're going to do camp and that this is all going to blow over, and we're believing that. And so that's sort of the zone that we're going in. There were so many kids we're doing camp. Oh my gosh, thank God. I was worried. And so us even giving away a spot to camp, I think produced some comfort in the kids as well as excitement in them. And yeah, it was just an amazing night. We weren't sure how it was going to go, but we were super proud and excited with what we were able to do.
Yeah, I think the key for us with that night, and I think for any guys that are trying to do this right now, is if you want to keep them logged in, you've got to keep it going. There's got to be new stuff. It's got to happen quick. It's different than a normal youth service where you have a little more time. This is just bam, 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 bam. And we went about 45 minutes, but every spot went really quick. So we wanted to keep the students engaged. We wanted to keep something new on the screen. And in the end, it worked out really well. We have a lot of good new ideas for next Tuesday night. But yeah, it was a great thing for us.
Awesome. I love it so much. So a couple of the things that I heard you say were the at-home scavenger hunt. That sounds awesome. I heard the digital gift cards that they have it right then and there. Hopefully something they can spend online would be obviously would be preferable, particularly now. You were able to go live with others, which I think is huge for them to see each other, see each other's friends and things like that. And then free camp. And just a reminder to everybody, this was a district-wide or network-wide event. And so I love it so much. Now, for those who don't know, you might recognize Gary and Eliot. I think your most viral moment was when you interviewed George Wood.
Yes. Yeah.
And remind me what that was called, and then tell us about that for those who might have missed it.
If you guys think the coronavirus is scary, try cracking jokes with Dr. George Wood.
It was great.
Yeah, he has a great sense of humor. But essentially, what our premise was for the joke of the interview was Dr. Wood is no longer the superintendent of the AG, and so we presented it like he needed to get a job. It's time to get off the couch. It's time to stop, whatever. And so we told him, since you made it to the top of the AG ladder, it's time to start at the bottom again and become a youth pastor. And so we essentially like interviewed him and gave him tips on how to be a youth pastor, and even got him to wear the jean jacket with the fleece on it. It was an awesome time.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. Yeah. And he had a great sense of humor with it. And yeah, it was a good time for sure. If you haven't seen it yet, you should find it on Facebook.
It's still on Facebook, I think.
What are they searching for to find that?
I think it's on his page. I think he posted it.
No, Dr. Wood was very adamant afterwards. He kept talking to us like, I want the video because I want to post it on my Facebook. And we're like, yeah. But
so if they search Gary, Eliot, and George Wood, they should be able to find that.
They can find it in one of our video sections.
It's on Gary's Facebook as well. So Gary Garcia, his Facebook has the video on it.
Well, I hope people go and look at that. I guess my final question would be maybe directed at you, Gary, because I know that the church you serve at Cornerstone is known internationally as a place that focuses on building healthy small church environments. And it's really scary for small churches right now. Some of our larger churches were already online. They already knew how to stream. They already had online giving. And so do you have thoughts for small church health during this time? Like, are we telling them just get online, just do online giving? I can only imagine what a lead pastor is thinking right now, trying to cope with circumstances.
Well, I think for sure this has definitely been kind of a, I don't want to say wake up call, but just a new era for a lot of these pastors, and they're going to be forced to do some of these things, like figure out online giving and how to do those things. But there's some things that still work that don't require you to have a Facebook or an Instagram. We've made a list of all of our senior citizens in the church, and each staff member has called them to make sure a couple of things. One, they know how to get online to watch the services, and if they don't, we'll come show them how to do it and set it up for them. Two, if they're good, are they feeling good? Do they need anything? Do they need us to bring them anything? Toilet paper, eggs, whatever we can do. And we've actually done some of that already. I took some eggs to a family that needed it yesterday. And then what we've done with our staff, and I know Eliot has done this with their staff too, is we've kind of split up the church and said, okay, you guys call these families, because it's really important during this time that they still have that point of contact, because there's people in our church now that I haven't seen for 2 weeks, and it's so weird, it's so odd, and it's going to be this crazy reunion by the time we all get together for service. But it's so key right now that they feel that connection. They feel like I'm still connected to my church. And as great as going virtual and going live and all these things are, it's still not face to face. It's still not talking in person. So if they can get a phone call from us, even a visit, we'll just stand outside and say hi, but wanted to check on you guys, see how you're doing. Those old school things still work and are very important during this time.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. I guess maybe let's tell folks where they can watch next Tuesday's Instagram service.
Yeah, so at SoCal Students is our Instagram, and just an encouragement as well. We Tuesday night we did our corporate thing, which was amazing. Like Gary said, like 650 kids were able to watch it. But then Wednesday night, me and Gary both got to attend like 7 or 8 different youth ministries that were doing their own live. And that's for us, we want to encourage SoCal students. What we're doing on Tuesday nights is not instead of doing your own thing. It's as well, because there's so much especially like the kids who are struggling with mental health and anxiety, just distraction and being in, these type of environments is so healthy. And so there's no reason to be like, well, Tuesday was covered by Gary and Eliot, I don't need to do youth. No, you do. No matter how big, you might not have 600 people hop on, but the 30 kids who hop on that are from your youth group, they need what you're doing. And so just to that encouragement, do something. If you do something in the different networks that are represented corporately, it's awesome to kind of get everybody together. Or hop on to SoCal students, wherever you're from. We would love to have you join in on our service on Tuesday nights at 7. But do something individually as well, because the more the better.
Yeah.
So
I'd also tell other youth pastors around the nation, just encourage them. We're all in this together as well. And so I know from our side, if we can help anybody do any of these things or give them ideas or steal games from each other, man, that doesn't change just because we're online. We still need to do those things.
Yeah.
So good. Well, thank you guys so much. And I should have said this at the beginning, but Gary Garcia have been serving at Cornerstone Christian Fellowship in Fountain Valley, California for 28 years, one of the longest serving youth pastors in Christendom. And then Eliot Bland, youth pastor in La Palma. And you guys are the California kids.
Oh, we didn't mention this. I can't believe we didn't mention this. It was such a big deal of what we did on Tuesday night. But we made a challenge. If 300 people were on the live, I had to shave my mustache, which is why I look like a 12-year-old right now.
I wondered what happened to the stash.
Yeah, we shaved it live. We shaved it on the Instagram live, which was pretty cool. For the
another great element. Any kind of haircut you can do online is probably good. We got a photo bomber there, so very good. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
All right. Take care, bro. Does that work?
Yeah, that was awesome. It was really good. Like I said, that was my very first one. So I've got people working from home that are saying, hey, I can edit. So I'm just going to send this to them. I also have a camera right over there that's kind of been getting a wide angle of the whole thing. I saw Fearless Church did that either yesterday or the day before. So I'm just kind of mimicking the big boys.
Nice.
So, well, thank you. Wish I was out there with you. I can come out there for $14 one way on Spirit Air.
Wow.
True story. Like I until I got that call from the Greene County Health Department and about an hour ago, I was seriously thinking about it. I'm like, man, because I was supposed to come. Well, we were going to have that meeting with Fields on Monday.
Yeah.
I assume you knew that was canceled. I guess I never. All right. Well, I'll let you go. Thank you guys. Love you. Good to see your faces.
Hey, we're praying for you and your family as well, just in the quarantine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I you.
If you need anything else, let us know.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye.
Take care.